completely bounced back, and full credit to him for his performance on Theme Park, where really led from the front. The first half as well on Theme Park was what, 7-1 off the back of that Chalet performance. So for all intents and purposes, and you could see what it meant to him as well once they had won. You know, straight away got up and started hugging his teammates. After Chalet, it was, you know, head in hands. So big turnaround for not only Dexter, but also for SSG. We head to Bank now, obviously, for our third map of this series. And yes, we've spoken about the advantages that DAMWON Gaming Kia have. 7-1 is their record on Bank. That's just for this calendar year. So they're a tough team to beat. It's by far and away their best map. They do not ever ban it. They always pick it. They always want to play it. Yeah. When you look at it for Spacestation Gaming, Rob, it doesn't really provide good viewing. They haven't won on it this calendar year.
That's like straight off the back, stats are pretty dangerous for SSG. But again, we were talking about that in the last map, Theme Park, and look what happened. You know, it's a massively defensive-sided map in pretty much every region around the world, but yet somehow it ended up being attacking-sided. Now we go to Bank, and the big one for me that I'm looking at straight off the bat is the bans. We see the Finka band and we see the Dokkaebi band. So I mean, the Finka ban I can definitely warrant. Like, that has been for the last, what, 12 months, even 18 months it feels. The Finka has just been an absolute rampage for a lot of teams. But the Dokkaebi ban coming out from SSG, wonder maybe if it could be a targeted ban for DWG on this map. Again, knowing the information that we have going into it, we have so many VODs for DWG, whereas for SSG, not as much. Maybe SSG are coming into this with a game plan and have already pre-prepped something for DAMWON Gaming Kia.
Yeah, and look, obviously we're always going to bring up the stats. We're always going to talk about the stats, but I think we can throw some of those out the window here. Off the back of the first games that we've seen in this series, I'm prepared to give SSG full faith that they can bring their attacking prowess here to Bang and find themselves in a really good position at the end of this first half. And if they can do that, then it puts them in a position to win. So obviously on Chalet, their attacking half, tremendous. Even on Theme Park, their attacking half was really, really good. And they go straight in as well, ramping into CEO on the Amaru. And this is what I expect from them. A lot of aggression, fast-paced attacking gameplay. We saw that on Chalet. It worked out really, really well. When the game slowed down, it favored DAMWON Kia. So SSG need to know that and play into that.
SSG's prep phase droning is out of this world. We've seen it on the last two maps, and now, I mean, that is a huge indicator, being able to send it in as rampy without anyone contesting. You know, they're very well prepared for what they're trying to achieve here. But now this is when things get interesting. We're past phase one of the round. We're now getting into that middle portion, and this is where really, you know, SSG's attack gets tested quite dramatically. So DWG not at all playing with any type of roam. They are playing with an extension into archives and towers, so that's something SSG are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, but it does give full vert control to SSG, but you know what they do with it, I mean, I don't think they're really well equipped for that, right? They don't have a buck, they don't have a sledge, so it probably actually favors DAMWON Kia the way that this is set up right now. A minute and a half remaining. There's been no confrontation. There's been really not a whole lot of work done by SSG. They're only just now starting to realize that by getting that vert control above in CEO office, that they're not really getting much from that. So this is a bit of a nothing round and has fallen short for them.
Zami left in for the very first time in any of our matches tonight, and now you're going to get to see her full use. EE1D roars out, but there's really no much more intel than was already gained. That was a really terrible English sentence, but moving forward, Fultz with the opening kill down in the basement.
In Vault? With a minute left? I mean, yeah, I didn't realize Yass had actually made his way down there. Maybe was being sort of hunted down, but yeah, Coach that has the information makes his way down blue stairs and finds that kill in basement. 40 seconds left, and for SSG, the only good thing is you do know Coda is down in basement. You do have that intel, but by now he can be just about anywhere. And if he does make his way back up blue stairs, he can get a really good flank on this box square position. We see it time and time again on open area staff. Keep an eye on that blue stairs. No, Coda actually goes down. It's all upside down for DAMWON here, and SSG find themselves in a really, really good position to make it close out this round.
Yeah, devastating though. They had two Selmas on the wall, and it was impacted. Now they're going to have to find another way around it. Just hit it 3 times. Hit it 3 times. Katsang finds a kill. Now it's Hot and Cold Dexter to do the work. They don't have the opening. They wanted it to staff, and it allows DWG to anchor on site.
The Kiva barrier at Beepers completely blocking Dexter, and he tried to run past twice, realized he got blocked off, and yeah, as you said, got to give that a couple little slaps, but in fairness, I don't know if that really would have changed the round all that much. DAMWON Gear still had really good site control, and it was a bit of a funnel on site as well last second by SSG. The one thing I will say on that round that I felt like SSG didn't do well enough was getting full bot square control earlier and getting to work on that wall. They left that really, really last second, even with the Thatcher, so a little bit concerning there. A lot more of a focus up above for SSG. Probably needed a little bit more horizontally.
That impact grenade changed the entire round. The one player that was playing in staff on the other side, one impact took off both Selmas that were about to explode. That completely opens up by couches. So that would have made DAMWON's hold in staff so much less dramatic. And now we're looking at the fact that, you know, there are multiple reasons for that, and there are multiple reasons as to why SSG struggle on their attack there. But look, we'll move down into the basement. And this is really interesting. We're seeing an extension up above, a roam into staff, into open, maybe even across into towers or archives. But to begin with, DWG are very happy to be aggressive and in the face of SSG.
Yeah, and potentially they need to be as well, because SSG, their aggression on Chalet was not met the other way, right? DAMWON Gear were pretty firm on-site defense, a lot of run game, and therefore I think they really got punished for it, even though they did end up winning the map through their own aggression on the attacking side. But the other things to also keep in mind, that's a defensive round win early here on Bank, so if DAMWON Gear can continue to sort of rack those up, puts them in a really, really good position.
This vertical becomes quite dangerous after a while, and I wonder how long DWG are going to hold on to that first floor roam. A lot of the times you see the extension kind of held until about the minute 30 mark and then they fall back. The issue with that is obviously leave all the hatches open, or at least the primary hatches into open. But SSG just aren't putting the pressure I thought that they were going to onto DWG. And once again, you're going to see that as Army. Oh, hang on, this is good, Xenox, this is good.
Ooh. It's a triple drop down into
no, it's
it hasn't quite paid off though for them. Straight away you lose 2 players. I don't mind it. They're actually going to get the plant down through Bosco. Rampy, Hot and Cold, good positions to sort of provide that cover fire as they do get the plant down, and now actually puts a bit of time pressure onto DAMWON Gear. Coated actually lost a big chunk of health as well, and a kill goes the way of SSG. Make that 2 courtesy of Bosco. Katsang and Yas now have a lot of work to do with not a lot of time. The rush. Rob, I thought maybe it wasn't going to pay dividends, but in the end, in the late round, it's Katsang, bot main stairs, finds the double kill, and has got intel on where Hot and Cold is. 20 seconds left.
Katsang, he could get on site and he could stick this right now. It depends on where Hot and Cold is rotated to. He's right in red. This is perfect. Straight around Volt, and he will shut down Katsang. A tremendous round from SSG. It looked worrisome in that mid-round, but what a call that was to drop straight into Volt.
And we don't see that ever. I mean, I've personally never seen that rush attack. It's, I mean, smaller sample size. I mainly just look at APAC South and a bit of North, but we tend to see the stalemate happen over towards server room and fighting for CCTV. So, I mean, look, that is something that I was not expecting, and I don't think DAMWON were expecting that either, Rob. And yet the fact that as soon as that hatch drop happened, DAMWON got 2 kills. Straight away I'm thinking, oh, it's just a blunder. But no, you force your way through, you get rid of that defender that did maybe find a couple of kills, you get the plant down, and then they're in a beautiful position to make sure that the retake is not going to come to fruition. Obviously, a bit of individual performance from Katsang to maybe get a couple of kills bot main stairs, but still, big round win for SSG off the back of that opening round. That kind of round that we just saw from them is what we saw a lot of on Chalet attack side as well. The aggression, them setting their own tempo and playing to their own game style and not allowing DAMWON Gaming's defense to dictate the game.
Well, that's just
kind of like what happened in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah, that, I guess for me that's the issue with that extension, right? You kind of leave simple siege to be the best siege for SSG. Whoever makes that call, that is a fantastic call, you know, and it's quick, it's smart, it isn't delayed, and it just gives DWG so many issues on that retake. They're just not in a position to trade out on site or anything like that. You can find the opening kills, but from there, that's where things get hot and heavy, and it's exactly what happens. Now we get to see SSG's attack on CEO. Obviously, there's no cheese strats there where you can just drop a hatch and in you are. Oh, you've just shot your own drone out, but that's okay. We won't worry about that one. Again, a lot of intel.
Yeah, one thing that's already sort of caught my eye here is the defensive setup from DAMWON Gaming is something that we tend to see in APAC, but the attacking play from SSG is not. Also is actually an operator that sees a lot of play because of the Talon Shield. Opening up site, getting that plant down with the Talon Shield, and then playing off the Repel. It can be quite strong. All you have to really do is get top square control as well, Rob, and then clear out probably stock hallway. So we're not really going to be seeing that from SSG. A large emphasis instead on the Repel and on the Candelas of hot and cold. Now they do get the opening kill on Turin, and they can obviously just repel straight into sight. Bosco makes his way to the bomb chassis inside of CEO, getting that plant down. If it's successful, the round will go to SSG. You cannot get the retake with the repellers still up, and they also got 2 kills plus plant. That's the round, surely. Even if Coded finds another 2 kills, it's still back in SSG.
Simple siege is good siege, my friend. It doesn't make a difference how you put it. SSG and not overcomplicating these pushes. Rampy, finding Coded. That is seriously the nail in the coffin at this point. Katsang and Woogieman left to clutch up. 2 versus 4. Time is dwindling. They've got less than 15 seconds to get on that kit. And with Dexter shutting down Katsang, it's all done and dusted. Write that one off. SSG with a clean repel in and an even cleaner hold.
Yeah, and that round to me kind of highlights the difference potentially in regional metas. I think the way that DAMWON Gaming here set up, they set up perfectly, but they set up for a top square push. They didn't set up for a repel. A lot more emphasis on stock rather than CEO windows. You know, if you want to defend what SSG just did, you'd probably bring the castle, you'd barricade windows up, you'd make them commit more utility. So quite a contrast in the way that DAMWON wanted to defend for what they thought would be an attack that did not eventuate. And SSG, well, they understand that straight away. If you're going to be seeing a lot more of the defenders basically stop hallway, janitor side, etc., and not on site, repel in, Candelas, flash, plant down, plant goes down, you're never going to be getting the retake on the repel game. So we head back down to basement, and again, really, when you think back to also the second round with that rush attack through Vault, we don't see that in APAC, and that's the same for DAMWON here. They would be expecting a server room push.
I think the clear difference here is SSG are just reading what DWG are doing, and instead of doing what a lot of teams... I mean, I really only want to talk for APAC here because, again, I'm not the expert in EUL. I don't know enough about NAL to really comment on how they play, but in APAC, it really is about playing into that defense. It's about playing around what the defense has brought rather than saying, okay, where's that hole? Can we make this simple? And you saw it, round 2. SSG, they see the big blaring issue, which is that extension above. Now, if you try to fight that, you're going to have to fight that horizontally because vertically you can move around too much in staff, in open. And instead of that, SSG make it simple, they drop the hatch. Same thing there. Instead of fighting it, they just make it simple. They get one player in on site, the rest watch from repel. And I'm really curious to see how DWG fight this kind of, I would say, counter-stracking from SSG. How are they going to continue to hold on to this, I would say, defensive-sided map? At the very least, I feel like in APAC, it definitely tends to trend that way. I'm really impressed, really impressed.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you know, Chalet was attacker-sided. Theme Park is supposed to be defender-sided. Turned out to be quite 50-50. Well, Bank is very much 50-50. If you look at the NAL, 64 rounds, decent little subsample. It's quite literally 50% win rate, defender-attacker, right? And also for APAC North, 43%. Defender, so it means 57% obviously for the attackers. So for the most part, I would look at this match, I would look at this map here as being rather 50-50. That's good signs then for SSG, and even further good signs there. Dexter on main stairs fights the kill onto Yas. He's 4-2. Bringing that form from Theme Park over to Bank. And honestly, when he's firing and all five are firing for SSG, they've been the better team in the series.
All five are firing for SSG and all five for DWG are struggling. And that right now seems to be a very clear difference maker. Dexter finding a kill off screen with Hot and Cold doubling down on Blue. This is going to be another flawless round. SSG are looking phenomenal on these attacks. I don't know if DWG have a response to this. I don't know if they can answer back.
Oh, those are big words, Rob. I'll play devil's advocate as always and bring us back to first half Chalet at the start of this series, and we were saying pretty similar sentences and had similar thoughts. It was a very, very dominant first half on Chalet from SSG. They were up 4-1. They even got to 5-2. And what happened? Second half, DAMWON Kia, they also brought the attack. And I think we might see that here on Bank, and you might actually end up throwing that 50-50 out the window and look closer towards an attacker side of Bank, like we have generally seen in the APAC region, especially APAC North. So let's not get too carried away just early, but again, over the course of this entire series, all three maps, SSG's attack has looked phenomenal. If they can clean up their defense and look a little bit more stout and a little bit more defensive and have a better defensive mindset and not throwing away lives early to things like claymores or random spawn peaks or going for crazy roams, I think they can definitely win this map and therefore win the series.
5 seconds to
You know what? No, I won't listen to you, Xenox. I will continue to ride this bandwagon on SSG.
Mate.
No, it's more than warranted. Tempered expectations here as we head to the second half is important, especially after what we've seen so far. Then it really will become about, you know, that the last two rounds for DWG here. They just haven't looked up to scrap in the last three defenses, but the first two, I would say, there were very clear reasons as to why. That one just really felt like SSG ran all over them and even played into their hand of where they wanted SSG to attack. But with this round now, it is so important that DWG do not go down 4 in a row. This hole, it's not easy. It's not an easy hole, but this is the one successful site that DWG have had. And it worked on the back of a little bit of an extension into archives and tellers, and then obviously turtling down on site. Also thanks to the Army barrier as well. That was a good cheat.
Well, you might actually look back to that and say that that keeper barrier beepers in round 1 might be the difference as to why it's not 0-4.
Could be.
You know,
very well could be.
It was not a very clean defensive round win for DAMWON Kia. The only round win that they've had so far here on Bank. They are on the defense though.
Yes.
We need to see the full picture before we paint it. And obviously with a minute and a half to go, SSG a little bit quieter to start this 5th round, but they have shown us that they've got the capabilities to frag in the execution phase now. It was probably the one hallmark they were missing on Chalet. A lot of their work when they were successful was early and mid round. Late round was kind of where they were not as successful, but they showed us on Theme Park that they've improved in that area over the course of the last hour or so. And we'll see if that continues here. And a big reason for that is Dexter, 6-2 now. I don't know Dexter personally, but maybe plays off that confidence, Rob. First time, obviously, at this kind of level. So much pressure. The first map did not go the way he would have liked, but what a response. And clearly just playing so confident now.
And this is exactly what we saw last time, and where things really faltered, and it's happening again. At the very least, there's a little bit more time left in the pocket for SSG to continue to open things up. But I think DAMWON have done an incredible job in playing the util game in the first 2 minutes 30 seconds. Now it comes about what SSG have. How sharp are they on these shots?
I am worrying though. There's still a lot of players with DAMWON here on the defense, set up really well on site. There's no real entryway. It's going to be a funnel for SSG. If they can even get onto site, not happening at all. They have just come to a brick wall and they have stalled out. And it was not all due to that keeper barrier this time around. Struggling again with that wall bot square. It has now cost them twice, admittedly, Rob. That's been the difference maker. And that's a big reprieve for DAMWON here because they had lost 3 rounds in a row prior. And they get one back. And if they can get to 3-3 at the half, I honestly think that's par for the course here on this bank, the way that this series is going.
I feel that really is their pitfall. For whatever reason, bottom square is just causing them a lot of trouble on that defense. But also, you know, like, time becomes a huge factor in that push as well. Down to 30 seconds, they don't have the wall open, and they force themselves into choke points that are favoring DWG. And as you said, 3-3, I think, would probably end this first half in a very neutral. I mean, obviously it's a neutral state.
It would be fair. It would be a fair result for both.
I do think so. I do think so. But this is where we saw, you know, SSG once again just completely ignore that extension into stock and roundabout into janitor. I mean, there was no one actually in janitor watching that rappel in, which I think was a really big downfall for DWG. And they won't make that mistake again. I'm absolutely confident that no matter the mistakes that DWG have made in the past 3 rounds, they will not come back to show here. They are a team that is quite resilient and very quick to adapt.
Yeah, very strong mental fortitude on this roster, on this team. They've been together a long time. They know what it takes. They've been in bad situations and got themselves out of it. On the flip side, you look at SSG. Yeah, obviously, well, the core of the roster has been together for a long time. You had Dexter, first time playing at this kind of level. So much pressure. We've seen it literally on the cameras that he's feeling and dealing with. And while he's being confident and been playing amazing in the last 2 maps, if it does get down to those pressure scenarios, you're going to have to bank back in DWG. But they're going to get there first. Big round coming up to close this first half. Final map of this best of 3 series. It has certainly gone the distance and lived up to the billing as I probably predicted. We did say at the start of the day, Rob, that the B stream is the best stream. For those unaware, maybe, we have TSM and MIBR coming up after this game, and you do not want to miss that one. So get comfy and stay tuned in.
North versus South, that one's going to be interesting. Almost as entertaining as this one. I don't know if you can really top this, though. 2 7-5s, and now we may well finish this half 3 apiece. If we do so, I do have some reservations for SSG on their defense. Those keeper barriers are causing Bosco and SSG a little bit of an issue.
Like, you throw out the Salma to just get rid of it, and then it's just like, oh, another one pops back up anyway, right? So it doesn't really matter in the end. He's still got 2 more keeper barriers in his pocket. Yes. Minute 15. If he can block that off for a little bit longer, that's going to deny that repel position. No. And it's such an important position. Dexter loses his life to Coated. Boogeyman does die to Rampy, though. Minute left, 4 versus 4. And this might open things up a bit.
What is Woogie doing? Woogie's gone to go for a jump out on the repel. And that's where Rampy's caught him. And now this is a pretty pivotal fight. If Fultz gets up here in the face of DWG and cannot convert the first kill, there's 2 players that are playing side by side that will be able to trade out. Coded, he'll find the first, but it is SSG once again that are pulling through in these late round fights. And yes, that is so unfortunate. A huge turn of events. SSG take the first half 4-2.
Yeah, and deservedly so. I mean, that was probably one of the rounds that SSG were not as clean as we've seen them in this entire series, but they still get the chocolates. It deserved as well. A little bit questionable, I think, from DAMWON Gaming, because they just didn't really fire a shot. I mean, they had player elevated, long desk, hallway, and none of them really did a whole lot. Credit to Rampy on the rappel as well, providing sort of cover. And even though Dexter did go down early, you know, SSG responded in perfect fashion. So a 4-2 half on the attack of Bank. Yeah, depending on the region that you're in, Rob, you might actually say 4-2 might be par for the course. I still think in this matchup it's 3-3, so advantage for SSG, but DAMWON do go on the attack. And as I said before, in APAC North, Bank is a little bit more attacker-sided. And both of these two teams have shown their prowess on the attack in all 3 maps that we've seen so far. So
Yeah.
if you're an SSG fan, don't get too excited just yet. But they are 3 maps away from finding victory in this series. 3 rounds, I should say.
Well, I think that's probably to the point. On this map in particular, 3-3 would have been par for the course, but definitely with the way that we've seen both of these teams play on Chalet and then on Theme Park, I do actually think that this is the best outcome that we could have had. I think if SSG finished 3 apiece on their attack, they're in a lot of trouble. They don't have that room to kind of move and make mistakes, whereas now they can be a little bit inventive on this defense. They can get in the faces, which you're actually seeing. This defense is all the way down in the basement, and we've got players that are hungry for kills up in stock. So there is absolutely no place for free access for DAMWON Gaming. And they're going to have to try and find their way in, either fighting through SSG, or SSG may well just fold and just waste the time, which can be even more beneficial.
And for reference, since we're at this kind of point of the series, loser takes on Team Liquid. Winner takes on Wild in the upper bracket final. So I obviously do not want to discredit Wild. We didn't get to watch that game, but they 7-1 Liquid twice. But that is still a formidable opponent awaiting you in the lower bracket straight away. And that could set up a really big matchup. So if you're DAMWON here and you don't want to be taking on Team Liquid just yet, you've got to get yourself back into this game.
Well, that's it. Wild's actually kind of scary coming into this tournament because to get here, they actually had to fight through an open qualifier. And then, not only did they fight through an open qualifier, they beat 2 EUL teams, Rogue and Heroic, I believe it was. So they're a team that really are hungry for this opportunity. They're not even in EUL, in the EUCL. They're not in Challenger League either. They're playing through open qualifiers to get there at the end of this year. So this team, Wild, that is coming in, are a huge unknown and are incredibly dangerous. Oh,
dangerous
Rampy
as well. Rampy from server finds that kill, headshot as well, takes out Iana, and Gas is struggling big time in a pivotal map. 1 and 6, Woogie 1 and 5, 2 star players for DAMWON here. Struggling to get going, and under a minute left, still Blue Stairs controlled through Bosco on the smoke. And maybe now turning their attention up towards that vault entry point through the hatch.
Man, I honestly think Rampy comes to the rescue of Bosco there. That could have been a massive pick. That would have been a smoke off the board. Time wasted as well. 30 seconds left. DWG have absolutely no control, but it is Coded who's actually made his way down main stairs. Rin finding a kill on a Rampy on the other side of the map. This could all come down to these ones that are being taken at the moment. Bosco, he slows things down, but Coded has no interest in making this a slow race. This is now a sprint for DWG. Bosco makes his way back around to the vault hatch. Takes his time as he gets a little bit tricky. But he's on the corner. This is a really hard position to play from in a 2 versus 1. Oh, he's prone though. It's a huge opportunity for Bosco to win out in a 1 versus 2. Does he have the knowledge?
Kota was very low in health, so that's why he went down so quickly. Woogie Man just under half health in 1 versus 1. Time a factor. Bosco full health can push up towards this window. He will confirm Kota with the SMG 11. Opens up a perfect sight line, but almost too perfect and too early as well. Here inside of lockers, he has to make the play. He has to be the one to do something. Gets on diffuser, gets off of it, spots him.
Oh, no way!
Do not get off of this, Bosco. You've won the round. But SSG, Woogie Man, he is not getting up from the crowd to save the day. What a shot! What a play! SSG edge a little bit closer to moving on in the upper bracket.
Look at the entire roster as well. They know how important that round is from Bosco. Again, I remind you, it was Rampy who saved Bosco's life over at Blue Stairs, only for Bosco to come back and clutch up. No less with the shotgun on a thermite running back across to safety. That has got to be seriously one of the biggest clutches we've seen so far in this matchup in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was impressive as well, entirely from Bosco. 1 versus 2, having to drop vault, and they kind of know where he was coming from too. Coated was watching prone, that angle. It was just a wonderful early shot that gets him down, and then deals with the 1v1. times a factor. Do you quite know where he is? He must have got a sound cue over towards bot.
Oh, there was a yellow ping. There was a yellow ping.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe there was something set up, but still impressive. And now it really puts DAMWON Gaming here on the back foot completely. Down 2-5. But guess what, Rob? They were in this exact position on Chalet. Down 2-5 in the second half on their attack. And what happened? They won 5 rounds in a row. That's right. So for those that maybe missed the first map, SSG were in this position on Chalet and ultimately lost 7-5. Does it happen again? Does history repeat itself? I'm not so sure. I think they're even better than what they were on Chalet here.
I mean, the yellow ping for me in that round goes to show once again SSG's intel game that has just been on point and mainly on their attacks, but to see it kind of come to fruition on their defense as well. I don't know whether there was a default cam potentially up. I don't even know if there's access to that that would have the proper vision that they need. But I'm telling you right now, there are some rounds here that SSG are winning on such pivotal information.
Yep.
Speaking of pivotal information, DWG have a huge run on site. They're going to isolate this fight. That is an incredible call. Hot and cold to shut down Yas and Tellers though. But it is DAMWON Gaming Kia that have all the information and staff. You saw where that drone was, and Kat Sang has worked perfectly off of it. Rin needs to go big here as well. Otherwise SSG, they might have a way back into this round, which it looks like they are fighting tooth and nail for a 3 versus 3 now. Oh no!
Tooth and nail. They are getting torn to shreds. Dexter, big shot onto Rin. Kat Sang takes down Bosco now on a 1 versus 2. Diffusing on quad. He needs the ace to win this round for DAMWON Gaming Kia against Dexter, the trial, the rookie, the man that wants to make his mark on this team, cement himself a permanent position. Can he salvage the round? He's already had 1 game round win before on Theme Park, and he's done it again. Swings out from Beepers, finds the kill. Oh, big round from Dexter. He has been so impressive, Rob, in the last 2 maps. So impressive. Match point, SSG.
That is absolutely...
And that's why it was a bit of a bit of a choke in the second half of Chalet. Full credit to DAMWON Gaming Kia, but to win 5 rounds in a row, something went wrong for SSG. And they've shown why that happened. Because now you go and look at Theme Park, now you go and look at Bank. They've been the better team on both of those maps. And the first half of Chalet, they were the better team. So for DAMWON Gaming Kia, they've only probably been the better team for the second half of Chalet in the entirety of this best of 3 series.
Yeah.
And you kind of look towards, okay, maybe what was the issue? And I don't really want to put it on Dexter, but he did go 1-11 and he did have some nervous moments. But boys, he responded on Theme Park, on Bank, and all you can do is tip your hat to the guy for responding. Maybe you didn't have the start that you wanted. You would have been obviously going to sleep last night thinking, big game tomorrow, I want to start well, and he didn't. But he responded, bounced back, and that's a sign of maturity. That's a sign of a player who's got to have a future at the top level. 9-5, dominated on Theme Park, wins them that round, match point, and I think DAMWON Gaming Kia, as strong as they've got mentally as a team, they're just not playing as good as we expect from them. 1-7 from Yats, 2-6 from Woogie Man, not really offering anything here on Bank, a map they've had so much success on. And for the first time this calendar year, they're about to lose on Bank back-to-back times for the first time. I mean, that is staggering.
I would have backed in.
Record.
Yeah, I would have backed in DWG every single day on this map. And it really, honestly, I think you look to SSG's attacks, and really there were 3 rounds in there that were picture perfect. Like, if you wanted to show a new team how to play Siege, you know, at a high level, you go back to those middle 3 rounds that they were able to take on their attack, and you showcase why they're so good. Now you've got 2 back-to-back clutch moments where SSG members are standing up. This is what makes a team like a champion team. This is where teams can really start to turn around their own storyline. And I mean, speak about a team that needs to turn their storyline around. It is SSG, and boy, are they delivering here at G8.
Still, we have seen teams before in Seed come back from 6-2, 6-1, and even 6-0. It's possible, but it's going to take the best of the best from DAMWON Gaming Kia if they're going to be winning the next 4 rounds to send this to overtime. Again, a date with Team Liquid in the lower bracket awaits them if they do lose out here. Woogie Man opening kill onto Rampy. Yas half health, and Rin finds the kill onto Dexter. So, lo and behold, they find themselves in a somewhat decent position. Mid-round, here, but Vault gets one back onto Katsang, and yes, half health. So suddenly the door may be ajar still for SSG to close out and win this one 7-2. Top banana stairs now, but goes shut down by Bosco. Sit down. Rindo inside a stock, keep a barrier, providing at least some kind of cover as well, but just under a minute left, 3 versus 3.
Fultz's fight right now will make or break this round. Boogeyman is sticking this kid. Fultz knows that there's a player in there who's trying to pre-fire around the angles. Does he win? It is Rin that forces this one into a 1 versus 3. Bosco, little late there on the evil eye, unfortunately. It's not going to come to fruition. Maybe there was an opportunity to deny. We will never know, but certainly he has to clutch up big. Bullet hose in hand, opportunity here. Hot and cold is in a retrievable position. The information is coming through, but it's not going to be enough here. There's just not enough time, no matter how big Bosco goes. I cannot see this happening. You're going to play around on the rappel. Unfortunately, he doesn't pick his teammate up in time. And DWG, they're not done with this game yet, and you definitely do not want to give them hope.
No, yeah, you're right. Don't give them hope. Don't let them believe. You don't want to let them get a couple of rounds in a row. Remember back on Chalet, they won 5 rounds in a row. So they've already shown in this series they're certainly capable of taking rounds consecutively off of SSG. 3-6 scoreline. You know, it adds up very quickly. I've seen teams time and time again in these positions, up 6-2, up 6-1 even. All you have to do is take it 1 round at a time on bank. Your attacking team, you can easily bring this bomb back. Suddenly, then when it's 6-4, if they want to win this next round at 6-4, how many teams have we seen come back and win 2 rounds in a row to bring it to overtime? So many, right? It's statistically not that unlikely. No. So big couple of rounds coming up here. SSG will not want to let this one get to overtime. I'll tell you what, if it does go to overtime, we said for Theme Park, it would remain maybe 50-50. If this one goes to OT, I'm full DAMWON Kia all the way. If SSG give up a 6-2 lead for this to go to overtime, I don't know if they'll be able to close it out. So they need to win this in regulation if they want to proceed to the upper bracket final against Wild.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Momentum would definitely be in the hands of the South Korean powerhouses.
Locate and defuse the bomb.
And again, like it is important to mention, you know, like DWG's form heading into their form heading into this. They have done tremendously in their domestic league, in their regional league of APAC North, and also when they go to majors, they have been the shining light for APAC. They have really made, I would say, they've turned a lot of viewers around on what to expect. This is really interesting from DWG. They've gone down into dirt. They know that there's no control in blue, and they may be able to kind of manipulate this really quickly if SSG aren't careful.
By attackers.
Yeah, and a pretty standard attacking play here from DAMWON Gaming Kia, opening up this server room wall. They can get really good sightline through lockers and CCTV. Ectothermic as well can open up the walls close towards full stairs. Now this though is something we don't see. The straight push in from Boogeyman with the suppressive fire.
He's baited them.
That gas babe is so not even remotely close. It needs to be essentially enveloping the doorway, like that second one, but too late. Plant goes down, and this is a very tricky retake now for SSG. That is such a quick round for DAMWON Gaming Kia. 5 versus 5. They cannot be losing from here.
Surely not. Information as well for Rin. They know that there's a player aggressed up on the chassis. This bomb is in an irretrievable position for SSG. They have to try and fight, and they're not being given a single inch. DWG are ensuring that SSG have a bit of a hard time closing this map out. Bosco, he's going to stick this the whole time. Provided DWG are not in a really difficult position, they will win this out. What a call, what a round from DWG.
Yeah. And once that plant goes down, 9 times out of 10, and in fact, you could even say it was 10 times out of 10, you're not going to get the retake, right? You're not going to get that counter defuse. You've got hatch that you control above. You've got dirt, firstly. I mean, no one can come behind from dirt and kill you there. And then, obviously, you've also got blue stairs. There's so much watching that diffuser. You have to pull off something miraculous. Almost happened there. Bosco getting 3 kills, but yeah, suddenly, look at that. Look how quick it is. 6-4 from 6-2. And now they've already shown they can win 2 rounds in a row. They've just got to do that one more time, and then it's overtime. Pressure on SSG. It looked all sunshine and daisies not too long ago, Rob. At 6-2, they were flawless. They were running around and having a lot of fun here on Bank. And now the pressure dial starts to just turn right back up now onto SSG. All the good times. They were a couple of rounds ago. Pressure's back on. A lot of work still to be done. And they repeat. They go back downstairs to basement. I don't mind this.
No,
obviously,
I love it.
more emphasis needs to be, firstly, blue stairs and pressure into server.
Yeah, there's 2 remarks here. I love that SSG have decided to go back here. It's really important that they do, because that for me is what SSG's vault drop, that for me is what DWD just did to them. And also my other mark that I want to make very quickly before we get underway with this round, I think that that plant was a bait. I actually think that Woogieman went and opened up the sidewall to ensure that that smoke canister was actually thrown closer to the desk, because that's what you expect. You expect to hear, you know, the exothermic charge go off and then someone instantly try and plant there. But instead he runs back around. They open up that straight line all the way through to lockers. And I genuinely think, I'd love to actually hear, if we get a chance to interview them, I would love to know if that was a fake, because if it was, massive 5-head brain. And SSG, look, I think they completely just dismiss that and go, yeah, that is what it is. We let that one happen. Now we show them what this defense has to offer.
Can't imagine that DAMWON Kia is going to be able to replicate that last round at all. And the way that they're sort of positioning here leads me to believe it should be a little bit more of a bot square take, maybe blue stairs. They may still go for server room. I don't really see them going for vault, but I'd like to see them, if they do go through server room again, Rob, they're still going to have, I reckon, main stairs control. Bot main's so important. Generally, you know, most of the time that you're going for that server room take into CCTV, you still need something from main stairs. We see even teams sometimes send a player through garage as well. Vault does not really see a whole lot of play. That vault hatch in APAC, so don't really expect that from DAMWON Gaming here. 90 seconds left in the round. They do have to start making their way. Good vision, bot main stairs opening up this bottom square hatch. So yeah, it looks as if it is going to play out this way.
This is most definitely the calm before the storm. DWG, this is such an important round for them. Remembering this is the final map in a best of 3, but it is double elimination. So,
okay, so they've got to play inside a server, and he's completely pinched. It's Rampy. I don't hate this. I've seen teams employ a defender in server, but he is trapped. He's pinched. They need to deal with him. They also get rid of Bosco. Was that the player on blue stairs? If so, suddenly sight is going to be opened up significantly. It was. They do lose Rin to Faults, and yeah, SSG, they need to make something happen quick. Oh, they're down. That's Woogie down. That's Diffuser down as well. Suddenly, DAMWON Kia is the one that has completely dropped the bundle here. 30 seconds left, but they're inside a server.
That is absolutely nuclear from Faults. A huge pick as they drop the hatch. And now with 20 seconds left, they're going to make a call. They're just going to open it up enough to get that plant down. I think he can. And now from here, it's got to be a big play from SSG.
I mean, if you can, boy, it's a tight squeeze. Dexter finds the kill onto Kota. Katsang is in, getting that plant down. There is, though, the Echo in play. Yas has to live this, though, and get a couple of kills the other way. Denial, that was the final. Echo, Katsang needs to stick this. Dexter, now he's already clutched a couple of big rounds. Headshot onto Katsang. Plant down, though, in a 1 versus 2. Yas, back up blue stairs. It has sight, though. Does he? I don't think he can see Diffuser from here. So he has to be absolutely perfect. 1 Rotero, but it is a Rioed wall.
I like this. Gets the intel. There's a player already in there. They've got to be careful. He had no clue. Dexter holds as they stick the kit. And as GG's in chat, SSG defeat the South Korean Giants in DAMWON Gaming.
Oh, it's the trial. It's Dexter. He has redeemed himself emphatically from that